Have you ever sat across from someone and felt a cold shiver of intuition? The words they speak are perfect. Their smile is practiced. Yet, something in your soul feels unsettled. We often think of lies as elaborate stories, woven with complex threads of fiction. But the most dangerous liars don't start with stories. They start with interrogations. Deception is a fragile creature. It needs information to survive. It needs to know where your boundaries are, how much you suspect, and exactly where your confidence ends. Before a liar manipulates your reality, they first study your reaction. And the most effective tool they use to dissect your mind is the question. In the world of the unshakeable, we do not fear the lie. We observe the pattern. Today, we are looking past the mask. We are exploring the 8 specific questions every liar uses, not to seek truth, but to control it. By the end of this journey, you will no longer be a victim of the information trap. You will possess the invisible shield of psychological clarity. The first question is, why would I lie to you? It sounds like a plea for logic. It sounds like an invitation to see their character. But look closer. When someone asks this, they are executing a classic shifting of the burden. Instead of providing evidence of their honesty, they are forcing you to provide evidence of their motive. They are moving the spotlight from their behavior to your suspicion. In psychology, this is known as deflection. By questioning your doubt, they make you feel cynical or irrational for even having the thought. As the Stoics believed, a person of integrity has no need to ask why they would lie. Their past actions are the only testimony they require. The second question is, who told you that? This is the question of a person in damage control. The moment a liar realizes their narrative has a leak, they panic. But they don't panic about the truth. They panic about the source. They aren't asking for clarity. They are conducting an investigation. They need to know who the threat is so they can discredit them. This is often the precursor to triangulation. If they know who spoke to you, they can tell you a lie about that person to make them seem unreliable. They are trying to map the boundaries of your knowledge so they can rebuild their wall of deception. The third question is, do you really think I'm that kind of person? Notice how the conversation just changed. You were talking about a specific fact, a missing sum of money, a late night, or a broken promise. Suddenly, you are talking about their identity. This question is a weapon of emotional blackmail. It appeals to your history with them. It asks you to ignore the current evidence in favor of your past feelings. Guilt quietly replaces logic. The Stoics taught us to separate the actor from the act. A good person can still commit a bad act. Do not let your affection for the actor blind you to the reality of the performance. The fourth question is, why are you overreacting? This is the hallmark of gaslighting. By labeling your reaction as irrational or dramatic, the liar minimizes the gravity of their own actions. When they can't change the facts, they change the tone of the conversation. If they can make your emotions the problem, the original lie quietly slips out the back door. They want you to doubt your own nervous system. When someone labels your reaction instead of answering your question, the truth is exactly what they are avoiding. The fifth question is, don't you trust me? Of all the questions in the liar's arsenal, this is the most manipulative. It weaponizes the most sacred element of a relationship: trust. Trust should be the result of honesty, not a shield used to prevent it. A liar uses this question to make you feel guilty for your own intelligence. They want you to believe that asking for the truth is a betrayal of the heart. This is a false dilemma. They suggest that you must either have blind trust or no love. In reality, healthy trust is built on transparency. Your trust is a treasure. Do not let it be used as a ransom for the truth. The sixth question is, Why are you bringing this up now? When a liar is cornered, they use timing as a weapon. By questioning the when, they avoid the what. They might say it's too late, or they're too tired, or you're ruining a good mood. This is a delay tactic. They are hoping that by the time later comes, you will have lost the courage or the evidence to ask again. The truth becomes secondary, and confusion replaces clarity. The seventh question is, what exactly are you trying to say? This question sounds like a request for clarity. In reality, it is a stalling mechanism. By making you explain yourself further, they are buying precious seconds to reshape their story. They are listening to your explanation to see how much you actually know, so they can tailor their lie to fit the gaps in your knowledge. The more you talk, the more ammunition you give them to build plausible deniability. The eighth and final question is, are you perfect? When the liar is finally exposed, they turn the sword on you. They dig up your past. They remind you of your flaws. They argue that because you aren't perfect, you have no right to demand the truth from them. This is an attempt to level the moral playing field. If everyone is bad, then their lie doesn't seem so wrong. But remember, someone else's past mistakes do not grant a license to be dishonest in the present. Now that you recognize these patterns, how do you handle the liar without losing your peace? You use the strategy of the silent master. When you hear one of these 8 questions, your instinct will be to defend yourself. You will want to explain why you aren't overreacting or why you do trust them. Do not. The moment you defend yourself, you have entered their battlefield. Instead, use the power of the pause. Use the 5-second silence. When they ask a manipulative question, do not answer. Count to 5 in your head while maintaining calm, neutral eye contact. Silence is a mirror. It forces the liar to look at their own words. Then, use the pivot of dignity. Answer their question with a statement of fact. If they ask who told you that, reply, "The source is irrelevant. The information is what I am addressing. Is it true?" The silent master knows that a lie only has power if it can provoke a reaction. When you remain unshakable, the lie withers in the light of your composure. Honest people answer questions. Liars create new ones. The next time you feel that shiver of intuition, don't ignore it. Observe the questions being thrown at you. Are they bridges to understanding, or walls built to hide the view? The truth doesn't need to attack your confidence. Only deception survives in confusion. Have you ever felt your silence was louder than your words in a moment of conflict? Reflect on that power. Clarity is not just about seeing others. It is about keeping your own light bright. Stay vibrant. Stay unshakable. Stay mindful.